Hey viewers and friends, horror fans, it's Andrew back again, aka Pumpkin Face, back at you with another video, and today I'm going to be doing a DVD and Halloween haul video. Got a bunch of movies in from Amazon UK, and I also picked up some Halloween related goodies, pretty early in the month actually, kind of surprising, but always something that I like picking up. So this will be first of probably 3, possibly 4 movie updates over the course of this month. They're all going to be horror related. I'm just going to stick to strictly horror pickups for the month of October. And yeah, here's the first update. Watched all of them. That's what I'm planning to do. I'm going to watch everything first before I upload an update. So yeah, let's get started. So we're going to start with the Halloween goodies first. So yeah, yesterday picked up this pumpkin mask, which is awesome. I've been wanting these forever, and I've just never found one in an adult size. So it looks really cool. It was only $10, which I thought was pretty cheap for it actually. It's pretty good quality for what it is, and it fits well, and it's surprisingly fairly comfortable. So really happy with that. And it doesn't end there. I picked up a couple of plastic cups which look awesome. Definitely going to be using them. The first one is this pumpkin design, and the plastic's pretty sturdy and the cups are fairly big. These were $2 each, so I picked this one up. And I also picked up a Frankenstein one, which is my personal favourite of the two. Again, same size. So yeah, those are pretty awesome. And the final thing that I picked up horror related is this little plastic skull. You just hang it up, and it also can sit on a shelf, which is pretty cool. This was also a couple of dollars, so not too bad. No doubt there'll be a lot more Halloween related stuff in stores as the month goes on, so yeah, hopefully I pick up some more stuff. Alright, on to the movies. So a few weeks ago I received a package from Colfie, aka Gary, and he sent me some UMDs. He sent me 3. One's not horror related, it's The Goonies, by the way, so I won't be showing it in this update. But he was good enough to send me, along with The Goonies, 28 Weeks Later and Halloween. 28 Weeks Later is a great movie, not quite as good as 28 Days Later. But still, it's a nice addition to have for my PSP. And then of course John Carpenter's Halloween. You all know my opinions on this movie. I've been after a UMD copy for ages now, and it's fairly hard to come across. It does not have an Australian release on UMD, and I've only ever seen the UK one. No idea if it's available in UMD in the US or not. Unfortunately, I forgot all about the region locking for UMD movies, and unfortunately my PSP can't play this, which kind of sucks, but I'm not too concerned because it's going to take a nice place in my Halloween collection regardless. But surprising though, the 28 Weeks Later works in my PSP, and so does The Goonies, so yeah, kind of unfortunate that Halloween doesn't work, but never mind. So Gary, thanks a lot for those. Alright, now on to the movies, or the DVDs rather. So first up we have Paper House. This has been a movie that I've been wanting to pick up for quite a while, and I wouldn't say it's rare, but it's not the most common DVD out there, and as far as I know, this UK release is the only release of a film on DVD as far as I know and from what I've come across. It's been years and years since I've seen this film. In fact, I've only seen it as a kid. I may have rented it or watched it on television, I can't remember, but I have seen it a couple of times previously, and from memory I really enjoyed it, so decided to pick it up, and I'm looking forward to giving it another rewatch. Next up we have a Frank Henenlotter movie, Brain Damage. This is a classic movie. I really like it a lot. I actually own the movie already in a 80s horror box set, but I love the film so much I wanted to pick up the individual release, and I really love that cover art. Not quite as good as Basket Case in my opinion, but still this one is fantastic, and I definitely recommend it if you're into low budget horror or Basket Case style films. If you've seen Basket Case and you've never seen Brain Damage, you'll love Brain Damage, so highly recommend that. This is another film that I've heard a lot of people talk about in the past, and it's been one that I've been wanting to pick up for a while. I've had this one for quite a while actually, and finally got around to watching it, and it's The Stuff. Awesome cover art. I pretty much got what I expected out of this movie. Nothing absolutely amazing, but then it was still a lot of fun as well. Again, fairly low budget and pretty cheesy. Pretty campy acting, but I'm sure most of you know about this film, but if you haven't, it's basically a goo or ooze movie where this like snack food's made called The Stuff. It's kind of like a mix between ice cream and yogurt, and basically people who eat this stuff turn sort of into mindless zombies basically. And it's basically about this little boy whose parents have eaten it and his older brother has eaten it, and they've sort of been taken under its influence. So it's about him and another scientist guy trying to basically find out what's in it and put a stop to people eating it. So as I said, nothing absolutely amazing, but still I had a lot of fun with it. Next up we have a really low budget slasher film called Blood Runs Cold. This was a complete blind buy for me. I pretty much knew next to nothing about the film apart from a quick synopsis on Amazon UK, and decided, you know what, I'm in the mood to add some new slashers to the collection. I'll give it a go. This is really low budget. Apparently it got made for $5,000, and yeah, it wasn't very good, to be honest. The best thing about it was the cinematography. As I said, this was filmed in Sweden, but it has English language, which I kind of felt the movie probably would have been better if it was Swedish language with English subtitles. The dialogue was fairly, I wouldn't say atrocious, but pretty mediocre. The killer wasn't anything special. That's him there on the cover, and yeah, just pretty bland and boring. But I guess for the budget, the cinematography was amazing. They did a great job with that. I'm probably going to do a separate review on it, go a little bit more in depth in the film, so stay tuned for that. But Blood Runs Cold. Next up we have a German post-apocalyptic survival horror film called Hell. I found out about this movie from Spanish Germ, or Adam. He did a review on it, and I decided to check it out, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it is my favourite post-apocalyptic film of all time, and there were a few flaws in the film. Basically, this one centres around a small group of people that are trying to reach the mountains. Basically, the sun is really powerful and bright, and has pretty much wiped out a lot of humanity and the world basically, so people need to stay out of the sun or they get badly burnt by it and die. So people rug up, you know, they wear these glasses and long length clothing and masks on their faces when they go outside. So it's pretty much about this small group of survivors that are trying to get to the mountains where it supposedly is raining. Along the way, like any post-apocalyptic movie, they come across a bunch of bad people who, keep them prisoner. As I said, it was fairly good, but not one of my all-time favourites. The issue that I had with it, it was a little bit hit and miss when it comes to the people being affected by the sun. At times, they'd go out in the sun all wrapped up, and then other times they wouldn't really worry about it. So I that was a bit annoying, and I sort of felt that that was a fairly big flaw in the film, but I enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend it to anyone who is into post-apocalyptic films, survival horror movies. It was really, really good, and again, amazing cinematography. Next up, we have Dream Home. I've done a separate review on this film, so if you haven't checked that video out already, please do so. I'm not really going to talk too much about it, since pretty much all my thoughts on the movie and what I thought of it are in the review, so check that out if you haven't. But Dream Home is an Asian slasher movie from Hong Kong, and apart from the weak storytelling aspect to the movie, I thought it was an absolutely phenomenal slasher. Amazing kills, really, really gory, and I've got to say it has some of the best kills that I've ever seen in a slasher movie. It's just a shame that the storytelling aspect of the movie was weak and kind of let the film down a bit. But other than that, this is an exceptional slasher movie, and I highly recommend it. And lastly, and certainly not least, we have a French horror, part of the French Big Four. I've also done a separate video on that, so check that out if you haven't, but we have Frontiers. I finally got around to picking this one up. It's taken me forever to order it, but I finally have, and I'm definitely looking forward to rewatching it again, because I absolutely loved it when I rented it out earlier this year. Pretty much, to sum up this movie briefly, it's the French version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So if you're a fan of those sort of films, or grisly, grimy, gritty horror, or French horror, and you haven't checked Frontiers out, do so. It is amazing. So there you go, guys. That has been my Halloween and movie haul. First of probably 3, possibly 4 more, I'm not too sure. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks a lot for watching.